Illinois State Fair has a lot to do. There's animals, carnival rides, the Jonas Brothers concert.
I heard about that. Thousands of fans there too. And this year, the Mobile Museum of Tolerance is also stopping by the fairgrounds in Springfield. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Max Cotton was there.
This bus could change so many lives.
Jeff Scoop dedicated most of his adult life to white supremacy.
When people get involved in this, nobody believes that they're joining something to be the bad guy, or most of them that are involved will tell you it has nothing to do with hate. They believe that it has something to do with protecting their people, protecting their race, their country. They believe they're patriots.
He says after more than 25 years in what he called a cult-like group, he was tired of convincing himself the National Socialist Movement wasn't a racist organization. Since leaving the movement in 2019, he dedicates his time to getting others to change.
Today, young people can click a button on the internet and find these hate groups and get involved in this or get involved in radicalization.
That's why he works with the Simon Wiesenthal Center's Mobile Museum of Tolerance, talking to young people, making sure they know there's a better path than his.
We'll go to all these schools across the state and we'll reach people through education and through helping them understand and breaking through those barriers.
Once on the bus, people can learn about several stories, from those about how ordinary people got sucked into the horrors of supporting Hitler and Nazi Germany, to the American Civil Rights Movement.
It's a very immersive experience with really high-rate technology that has really done an excellent job to focus in on the education while making it a fun experience like a museum actually does.
The goal is to spark a discussion, making visitors think critically about the impact of hate. And with the Anti-Defamation League reporting in January that anti-Semitic incidents were up 360% since the October 7th attack in Israel, Scoop says the Mobile Museum's work is more important than ever.
We've got so many people that are just so angry and passionate in a way about their cause, but we're trying to break through that and show that there's commonalities, that we need to be united in our humanity and bring people together.
Max Cotton, 25 News.